where we've got a pair of old Cardinal Conference foes squaring off this evening in week number 10 of the high school football season in West Virginia. Taking their talents here to Putnam County this evening, it's the Scott Skyhawks, the number 9 team in Class AA here in West Virginia, with a 6-2 record on the season on a 5-game winning streak after losing to number 6 Independence back in week number 4. The Skyhawks are on their 9th straight week of football this week. After an opening week bye to start the year, they have then again started off 1-2 in those first 3 games and then rattled off these 5 straight wins. The Skyhawks hoping to win these last 2 with a win tonight against Winfield here on the road, and then next week against number 4 in Class AA, Williamstown, that would give the Skyhawks a home playoff game to start the season, or start the postseason in 2 weeks. The Generals here tonight, it's their senior night as they'll honor 9 seniors for the final time here at General Stadium, as the Winfield Generals, led by head coach Eddie Smolder, come into tonight 4-4 on the season. They have been unable to build a winning streak thus far on the season, but on the brighter side as well, they've also yet to have a losing streak on the year. They have flip-flopped wins and losses so far through the first 8 games of the season, playing a very tough schedule throughout the course of this year, playing the likes of the number 4 and number 2 teams in Class AAA, the Herbert Hoover Huskies and the Princeton Tigers. Also taking on the number 5 team in Class AAA, the Nitro Wildcats, just last week, falling in that one 35-28. So the Generals hungry to get back in the win column as they honor their 9 seniors tonight. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Media Center crew, happy to have you with us here this evening. The senior night festivities took place just a minute ago. Will, we saw them march out all the football players, the band members, cheerleaders, dance team members, so on and so forth. And there's a great crowd on hand tonight to see these 2 teams face off, as it's a game that the last 2 years decided the Cardinal Conference in 22 and 23. This year, Scott no longer in the Cardinal Conference, but this game isn't, so it's not for a conference championship, but it will have playoff implications for both sides, with Scott trying to get a win to get into hosting a home playoff game in the first round, and the Generals just trying to get into the playoffs. Right now, the number 18 team in Class Quad A, the top 16 teams from each division make it into the postseason.
Yeah, running out of time to really make your playoff case this late in the year. A win over a team like Scott would be a big push to get you into that top 16, but Scott's not going to make it easy. Like you said, 5 straight wins, and all of them convincing, really. The most points scored against them was 17 by a single A man, who is a tough single A any given year, really. So really a defense-led squad so far during this 5-game win streak, and a team that has to be ready to take on the running game against Winfield, and also has to have a plan about Easton Pinkerton.
Yeah, Easton Pinkerton, the quarterback for the Generals, the senior honored here before tonight's matchup. Again, one of 9 seniors on this General football team. Transfer from GW a couple of years ago, and he is the premier playmaker in this Generals offense. 51 of 96 passing through the season, just a little more than 50%. Just under 700 yards passing. 9 touchdowns and 3 interceptions for him on the year, but the groundwork is what really impresses you with his playmaking ability. 117 carries, 476 yards to lead the team in both of those categories, and also a team leading 11 touchdowns on the ground for Easton Pinkerton. But he does have a nice backfield group to go with him in this wing T set. It's not just him who makes plays for this Generals team, but he will be the feature guy tonight.
Yeah, Radcliffe, helping out back there. A lot of guys back there will get carries, but Pinkerton's really the guy who leads the way for them, like you said, on the ground and the air. Really, what you really want out of your senior quarterback, really leading the way out there. He's going to need to, because Scott also comes in here with high-power offense, really run more of a passing attack, whereas we're going to see a really ground and pound attack from Winfield. Nate Easterling spreading it out to a couple of receivers who can really do things with the ball in their hands.
Easterling with a multitude of players to get the ball to as well. David Finnessy, Carson Brenniger, Caden Sutphin, Braden Clark, Isaiah Bush. Again, a host of playmakers on both sides, but this quarterback matchup, again, a tale of two different types of players where Easterling very much they stand in the pocket or at least deliver the football through the air. 183 passing attempts on the season, just 20 yards shy of 1,400 yards on the season. An impressive 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio on the season. Junior transferred in this year from Chapmanville, and for the Skyhawks, something head coach Jeremy Dolan said is that he kind of expected a little bit of a step back in production for the Skyhawks at quarterback this year with the graduation of Matt Fry after him starting for 2 years and leading the offense to new heights for Scott the last 2 seasons. But Nate Easterling has been a very promising surprise, I think, for a lot of people there in West Madison, Will.
Yeah, really, that 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio is really the thing that sticks out. 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and really a guy who, when you trust someone like that to really lead a passing offense, transferred, you have to really put a lot of faith in him coming in and learning the system, making it his in some type of way, and he's really done a good job of that and led them so far to a really high-powered offense. It's powered them to a lot of good wins so far.
And then you've got a guy that he can hand the ball off to in David Finnessy. 94 carries on the air, 581 rushing attempts, 13 touchdowns for him on the season on the ground, 14 total touchdowns to go along with his 8 receptions for 83 yards and a score. And they can move him around a little bit, just like they can do with a couple of guys on this Skyhawk team. They can move them around, much like the Generals can kind of plug-and-play players as well. It should be an interesting matchup here between the Generals and the Skyhawks tonight. We'll step aside for a quick break, and then we'll be back right after this on High School Game Day.
Hi, I'm Grant Hussey. I'm from Parkersburg, West Virginia. When I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Par-Mar store.
We have that gold and blue pride at Par-Mar stores. Download the Par-Mar stores app and sign up for our rewards cards for even more savings. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. From gas to groceries, you'll find what you need at Par-Mar stores.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Getting set for kickoff here in Putnam County in week number 10. 2 weeks left of the high school football season in West Virginia. We've got the Scott Skyhawks on the road tonight, getting ready to kick things off to the hometown Winfield Generals, and they're all black this evening with a sharp look with those white numbers for the Generals and that green helmet with the black star. Kickoff is away. It'll land at the 21. It'll be scooped up by the Generals. Coming on the near side, that will be Aiden Tate. Tate will get up just near the 30-yard line before he is brought down by David Finnessy. He and Caden Sutphin will make the tackle for the for the Skyhawks, and Winfield will get the football 1st and 10 at their own 29. And this is where we'll see Easton Pinkerton in this Generals offense for the first time this evening.
Like you said before, leading rusher and, of course, the man who throws the ball when they do that. So really a lot of their offense pivots on how he does.
They'll toss it, though, to the back. Chris Radcliffe, the fullback. Radcliffe with a nice burst of speed off the right side, gets to that edge, and he'll come up about a yard shy of the first down, brought down at the 38. So a gain of 9 on first down on the opening play of the game for the Generals. 2nd and 1 on the way for Winfield. 2 receivers to the near side. Trey Tainer in the slot. Aiden Tate, the man on the bottom of your screen. Pinkerton under center, hands off to the fullback, Radcliffe again. Radcliffe will get up across the 40, and depending on where they spot the ball, he does have the first down. It was a matter of, was it 2 or 3 yards? They're going to give him 3 up to the 41.
Yeah, like you said, Pinkerton might be the leading rusher, but it's not like he's the only rusher. A lot of guys back there, obviously, running this wing T type offense that can carry the ball, and so far Radcliffe doing well. 2 carries, 11 yards, get them the first down.
Wing backs on their way, man in motion is Gannon Boggs. Counter comes back the other way. Nice break there of a tackle by Trey Tanner, and Tanner up near midfield is close to another first down. Couple yards shy, brought down at the Generals' 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2 on the way for the Generals offense. Working efficiently, and this is the Generals offense that you and I have come to know in the last couple of years under the guidance of head coach Eddie Smolder in his 3rd season at the helm of this program. Already the most losses that he's had in his first 3 years. in terms of a season after a successful 9-3 campaign last year, 10-2 the year prior.
I mean, there's a reason why this offense is, on one hand, considered archaic, but also used all the time all across the country. It moves the ball downfield if you have the right guys to do it.
Pinkerton with a nice quarterback power there. Will get into Skyhawk territory and be brought down at the Scott 48-yard line. There we go. They're going to spot it now, 48. A pickup of 4 on that. Will bring up 1st and 10 for the Generals.
And already 4 carries, 3 different ball carriers. So that's spreading around here early and testing out this Scott defense.
Play comes to the left side this time. And it'll be Gannon Boggs on a sweep to the near side. And he'll get down inside the 45 to the 44. Pickup of 4 on that pickup. We'll bring up 2nd and 6 on the way for the Generals. 2 receivers go to the top of the formation. That's Aiden Martinez and Trey Tanner. Tanner lines up in the slot. Pinkerton under center. Turns, hands off to the fullback, Radcliffe. Radcliffe will get back to the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a yard depending on where they spot him, but the Skyhawk defense gets to him quickly. That was Jeremiah Brown in on the stop, as well as Ty Mitchell.
It hit immediately by 2 guys right there as he tried to get through the line. They're actually going to give him a yard.
They're going to give him about 2 yards on that, down to the 42.
Well. Also number 50 on the tackle. We do not have him rostered. It's going to bring him third down and 4.
Thomas Crisp helping make that stop for the Skyhawks. 3rd down, Pinkerton going to keep it himself, trying to bounce it out to the left, and he'll get inside the 40 and is going to be close to a 1st down. I think they're going to give it to him based on the spot. Nice footwork there by Pinkerton to avoid those tackles around the ankles and pick up that 1st down.
Yeah, and this is the type of drive that Winfield wants to have, especially to start the game. No big plays so far, but 3 first downs on the ground, spreading the ball around. 4 guys carried the ball, and they're having success at doing exactly what they want to do.
Well, they're working methodically. Just over 8 minutes left to go here in this opening quarter. On the opening possession of the game still, the Generals marching down the field methodically. Just inside the 40 at the 37. 1st and 10 for the Generals. Check the play at the line of scrimmage. Now send Tanner in motion. Hand back to him. Coming off the left side. Tanner with a nice run down near the 30-yard line. Excuse me. So they're going to say he stepped out at the 32. Pick up a 5 on that carry. That's the cornerback, Carter McClung, the senior, forcing him out of bounds there. But not before a 5-yard pickup is gained by Trey Tanner. Had just 13 carries coming into the night for 34 yards and a touchdown, and picks up 5 there. And already up to 13 so far for this opening drive. Man in motion now is Gannon Boggs. Hand off to him on a jet sweep. Boggs cuts back inside, and Boggs has a 1st down and then some inside the 35. Excuse me, the 25. And Boggs will be down at the 23. Another 1st down gain for the Generals. The Generals subbing, getting bodies rotated in. And they're doing a great job of spreading the football around on this opening drive. 4 different ball carriers for Winfield to start this opening possession of the game. Tanner in motion, going to toss to him to the left now. Stretching it out outside the numbers, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 15. Give him the 16-yard line on the near side. Nice 1st down gain there of 7. That'll bring up 2nd and 3. And this is a 5-minute drive they're working on here on the opening possession of the game, just grinding down this Scott defensive front.
And they really do a good job of, I think one of the reasons they've been so successful running this wing tees, they really use it to its fullest, spreading it around to different guys, finding, particular plays that work better for one player than another, and just really get as many guys involved with this as they can.
Fake
while
the
still having their
handoff
star.
will fake the handoff on the jet sweep. It's going to be Pinkerton keeping it himself. He has a first down inside the 15 and is brought down at, I believe, the 12 for another first down gain for the Generals. Again, the Generals moving the sticks with ease on this opening possession. No pass attempts yet for Winfield. All these plays on this opening drive coming on the ground. And again, 4 different ball carriers for Winfield. Nobody with more than, 8 or 9 on a carry so far, Will. Haven't been able to break one open just yet, but again, have been consistently moving the football.
Yeah, no play of more than 10 yards, but just keep moving it forward.
Pinkerton into the shotgun this time, going to keep it himself on a read option, and he's going to lose the football. Ball comes out at the 9, but yes, they are going to say that he was down. Carter McClung did jump on top of the football just in case, but Pinkerton ruled down by contact there after a decent gain on 1st and 10. Brought down at the 8. Pickup of 4, the 2nd and 6 on the way for the Generals. They can get a first down without getting into the end zone on this opening drive. Again, we're more than halfway through the opening quarter, and this is the opening possession of the game. Goes to show you how much those guys up front are moving the line of scrimmage for the Generals. Turn handoff to Boggs on an I formation, and I think Boggs ran into Pinkerton on that handoff and caused him to be off balance a little bit. That's what allows Ty Mitchell, the senior linebacker, to fly in and make that stop. And he'll bring him down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play. It'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Generals.
Yeah, it's only a drive that was so methodical and moving so well on schedule. They're facing 3rd and a little bit long. Definitely in territory you could go for it, but big 3rd down here. I don't think they've had 3rd down yet.
So that's the first time they haven't gained any positive yards on a play. Pinkerton in the shotgun now. It's Landon Hill to his right. Pinkerton drops back to throw, looks right, throws left. That is going to be caught and into the end zone. Touchdown for the Generals. Drew Mann gets into the end zone for 6. And Winfield takes a 6-0 lead. They finally go to the air on 3rd down, and they connect for a touchdown pass.
Yeah, perfect time to go for it there. Mann found a wide open spot on that cross across the formation, and Pinkerton got right to where he needed to go.
Point after try is good. Generals lead 7-0. And with 4:39 to go in the opening quarter, we'll step aside for a short break and be back with more right after this on High School Game Day.
I'm Chad Barker, and I'm running for re-election as Boone County Sheriff. I'm proud to be the only candidate in this race who's a certified law enforcement officer with over 2 decades of experience right here in Boone County. In my first term as sheriff, we worked hard and drastically increased police presence throughout our county. Plus, we've secured over $500,000 in federal and state grant money for our department. Help me finish what we've started. Vote for me as Boone County Sheriff November 5th. Thank you.
Generals lead 7-0 after a very methodical drive to open this football game. Takes 7 minutes, 21 seconds off the clock, and they didn't go to the air until they finally got into the end zone. Spread it around to 4 different ball carriers on that opening drive over 15 plays, and finally punch it in from 8 yards out on a pass to Drew Mann from Easton Pinkerton. Kickoff on the ground. It'll be returned by the Skyhawks. That'll be Loudon White on the return for the Generals, for the Skyhawks. He'll get up across the 30. And that is where Scott will send their offense out for the first time this evening, where we'll see Nate Easterling lead this Skyhawk offense.
And while the Skyhawks don't have quite as lopsided an offense, this is almost the exact opposite in kind of what they're trying to do. They will run the ball, but they're really trying to spread it out and pass it as well.
Pistol set for the Skyhawks. Easterling will draw the man off sides. It's Austin Lynch unable to hold his water for the Generals. Crossing into the neutral zone, a 5-yard penalty.
They're going to call
a false start on the Skyhawks. Well, back the Skyhawks up 5 yards. Not how you want to start the drive there after your defense was out there for so long. Over 7 minutes your defense was out there. And a handful of these guys for the Skyhawks play both ways. So 1st and 15 now for Scott. High snap pulled down though. Handoff goes to the tailback and the Generals swarm him quickly. David Fennessy unable to go really anywhere. Gets maybe a yard. They're going to give him to the 29. We'll bring up 2nd and 14. Just over 4 minutes left to go, opening quarter. After, again, a 7+ minute drive by the Generals offense, ending in a touchdown. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top. Easterling in the pistol set with Fennessy standing behind him. Easterling going to hand off to Fennessy, and Fennessy again met in the backfield. This time, Generals defense gets to him in a hurry. That's Lucas Howe coming in to make the stop for the Generals for a loss all the way back to the 25-yard line. A 3-yard loss on that tackle and sets up 3rd and long for the Skyhawk offense.
And now pretty much have to go to the air there. Great job so far by Winfield getting to the point of attack early and getting to the ball handler quickly.
Almost got there before the handoff did. That's how quickly Lucas Howe was in the backfield. 3rd and long for the Skyhawks. Bunch to the near side. Easterling drops back to throw under some pressure, flips it out, trying to find White, and White's unable to hold on. Pass incomplete. Gannon Boggs in on the coverage for the Generals defense, and that'll bring up 4th and 19 for the Skyhawks, and they'll send the punt team out. Ryan Neal will head back to send things away for Scott.
Just a not a way you want to start a game. Move backwards 2 of their 3 plays, having to punt it after, like you said, Winfield dominated time of possession on that first drive. They're about to get it back with 3 minutes left. They might have it 11 of the 12 minutes in this quarter.
Slow developing punt, low line drive kick that'll finally take a Scott bounce. It'll be down at the 48 of Scott, but there is a flag down back in the vicinity of a roughing the kicker or running into the kicker.
Yeah, Ryan Neal kind of looking like he got a little, at least trying to sell it, walking over there with a bit of a limp. Didn't see the hit exactly, but the flag did come down right in that area.
Official's going to talk about it, and we'll see what that ruling is here from our Whitehead in just a moment. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Media Center crew, happy to have you with us this evening on High School Game Day on the RSN Sports Network, powered by HD Media. Here comes that call. Zay running into the kicker, roughing the kicker, rather.
I believe it's going to be a running into because they're still lining up like they're going to punt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a call that still exists in high school, does not exist in college or pro anymore. But a foul of 5-yard variety, still a 4th and 12.
Yeah, so they will re-punt. Generals won't get quite as good field position potentially here. Gives Ryan Neal an opportunity to get a better kick on this one. And it is a much better kick this time. It'll bounce at the 35, and Trey Tanner wants nothing to do with it. It'll be down at the 30, maybe the 31. That is where the Generals will get the football to start their 2nd drive of this quarter.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. That's about a 25-yard difference there between the first punt and the 2nd.
And Skyhawks, although they're unable to convert a first down, they do run 2 minutes off the clock. But not quite the 7:21 that the Generals did on their opening drive that led to the score, the 8-yard touchdown catch by Drew Mann.
And in a game that's a fairly even team so far, the game is going exactly how Winfield wants it to. Long drive on your first drive, score, get it back without any more damage done, and let your team go back to work what was already working.
Pinkerton going to run an option here, going to toss out to the back Radcliffe. Radcliffe with a burst of speed, has the first down and then some, pulling a defender with him up to the 45-yard line. That is a 13-yard pickup there for Radcliffe as he'll get up to the 45-yard line.
Biggest play of the game so far by Winfield. Radcliffe already 4 carries for 26 yards. Like you said, not a ton, or no, getting my players confused, excuse me.
Radcliffe second on the team in carries on the year, 42 rushes, 360 yards coming into tonight.
Ooh.
And Aiden Hernandez slips up there on the grass as he's trying to cut up field. Had a block ahead of him, just unable to maintain his footing and slipped up on that natural grass.
What's left of the grass? We've been in the grips of a pretty severe drought for a while. So
we had some rain here in the last 24 hours, but not enough to end that drought. And I don't think it hurt that right there, but Hernandez does slips up there and lose 2 yards. Back to the 43-yard line. We'll set up 2nd and 12. Pinkerton under center now. And a flag comes. False start against the Generals. That'll back them up 5 more yards and make it 2nd and 17 for Winfield now.
I didn't see that. That must have just been one of the ones in the backfield or something, because the offensive line seemed like they didn't jump at all on that one. But either way, negative plays like that or fouls like that could really be especially tough on a team like Winfield that, like we saw in that first drive, kind of lives on the 4, 5, 6-yard gains. When you get put behind schedule, that can be a little bit tough.
For the Skyhawks, you're loving it. You get a 2-yard loss on the opening play of the drive, and then you get a 5-yard penalty to make 2nd down even longer. 2nd and 17 here on the way. Pinkerton fakes the handoff once. Ball's on the ground now, and it's recovered by the Skyhawks. Scooping up the football there is number 51, Mason Brown. Excuse me, Dalton Milo.
Recovered by number 51 for Scott. Mason Brown on the recovery.
Well, maybe it is Mason Brown. My roster says.
First and 10, Scott.
Dylan Lyle.
13-yard line.
So apologies to that. Mason Brown with the fumble recovery, and the Skyhawks get the football back.
By the way, excellent play there to get away from one of their best ball handlers and get right on top of it. Now that better punt works in their favor.
Rolling out, Easterling sidesteps a would-be tackler and will have a decent gain on 1st down there as he rolled out of the pocket to his right and got outside the numbers down to the 37 where Lucas Howe finally brings him down.
3 on the play, 2nd down and 7 for the Skyhawks.
3-yard pickup for the Skyhawks. After a 3-and-out. Got extended a little bit due to a running into the kicker, but wasn't harsh enough of a penalty to give them 15 yards to potentially maybe let them think about going for it. 2nd down. Easterling throws out to the flat to Finnessy. Finnessy has some space in front of him, has the 1st down and then some inside the 25 down into the 20. 1st down for the Skyhawks. Nice pass there for the Skyhawks. Easterling finds Finnessy wide open in the flat, and he got a great block set up there as well by Loudon White, who was a receiver downfield.
A big 18-yard gain there, get them down inside the red zone here after one play.
1st and 10, toss sweep comes to the near side. Finnessy going to be met initially in the backfield and is going to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to be forced down by Aiden Tate. And that will do it for the first 12 minutes of play. We'll flip ends of the field, put a fresh 12 minutes up on the board, and we'll come back here to Putnam County and Winfield right after this for quarter number 2 on High School Game Day.
Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hurricane is built a little differently than other dealerships on things like a smile and a handshake. That's because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals, and the huge inventory in both new and pre-owned doesn't hurt either. So when you're ready for your next vehicle, make that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Just off the Hurricane exit of I-64, Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. and Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. and Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
Back here in Winfield, Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Media Center crew, happy to have you with us this evening on High School Game Day on the RSN Sports Network, powered by HD Media. Generals lead 7-0 after one. Him on the opening drive of the game, where Winfield ate 7 minutes, 21 seconds off the clock. Easton Pinkerton had been either running it himself or handing it off to one of his multitude of ball carriers on that opening drive. Then on third and 8 really, Generals put it to the air. 8-yard touchdown catch by Drew Mann, his third touchdown reception of the season. It's kind of split time as an offensive lineman and a wide receiver or tight end for this General team this year. And as we start the second quarter, Easterling throwing it out over to the far sideline, and then they're going to get him for an intentional grounding, I believe. No receiver there in the vicinity.
Looks like
and even if he was,
it might have been defensive holding, but because he might have been throwing anything that I couldn't get to. We'll have to see.
True.
Looks like the receiver there didn't make it very far downfield.
They're going to have a talk about this one. And rightfully so, because again, if there is a defensive holding that prevents the receiver from getting to the football, then it can't be an intentional grounding because the defensive holding occurred, and he would have been there had he not been held up. They're going to call pass interference, so they're going to give the Skyhawks another first down on this drive after they got the football back to start this drive after a fumble by the Generals. And now a pass interference call. Going to set them up second and short.
Second down and 1.
Second and really less than one here for the Skyhawks at the 10. Easterling hands off to Finnessy. Finnessy plows ahead, has a first down, and he's going to come up just shy of the goal line at about the 2. An 8-yard pickup there for Finnessy. And the Skyhawks 2 yards away from tying this one up. Less than a minute into the second quarter. Easterling takes a shotgun snap, hand off to Finnessy, and the play is blown dead. Flag comes, and now they're going to call an offside on the Generals. So they'll go down to the 1. Still be first and goal, but it'll be from the 1. Skyhawks with an H-back set. Handoff goes to Finnessy off the right side, and Finnessy will walk in and isn't touched until he gets across the goal line. Generals lead cut to 1 now as the Skyhawks punch it across the line from 1 yard out.
Yeah, drive that Scott really needed after they had that 3-and-out early in the game, and it looked like there for a while that Winfield had what it took to get down there and get give a 2-score lead, but that big fumble and recovery was huge, and then that big play to Finnessy in the passing game. We got that catch in this flat for 18 yards, got him right down there into the red zone to get that drive started.
Mason Brown, the long snapper. Cole Elkins to hold for Tucker Breedlove. Kick is up, and it is no good. So the Generals' lead stays at 7-6, just a little less than 30 seconds into quarter number 2. We'll step aside for another short break and be back with more right after this on High School.
Hello, I'm Dave Gilmore, the new office lead here in CEC's Putnam County location. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to partner with HD Media to bring you local high school sports. From all of us at CEC, we thank you for supporting us and we hope you enjoy tonight's game.
Tony the Tailor is well known to have the best suits, jackets, and pants anywhere. But our strength is actually our sophisticated casual and sportswear. From Brax Pants and Emmanuel Berg sports shirts, Cole Haan and DiBianco shoes, Left Coast tees and Mac jeans, Johnny O sportswear and Len belts, we have what you need to look your best at work or at play. Tony the Tailor, downtown Charleston or online at bestmastertailor.com.
Tucker Breedlove teeing things up for the Skyhawks. Seeing right there, number 9, just below him on your screen, David Fennessy, the man who brought the Skyhawks within an extra point of tying the game up. Skyhawks aren't able to convert on that, though, so it stays a 7-6 Winfield lead here on their senior night. Breedlove with a short kick will bounce inside the 30 and be scooped up by Trey Tanner at the 23. Tanner going to run over to the middle of the field, and ball's on the ground once again, and this time the Skyhawks come up with it on the kickoff return. Tanner lost the football, and the Skyhawks jump on top of it to send it back their way with the offense.
Yeah, he was trying to just make a cut, and he didn't have the ball tucked in quite well enough. I couldn't tell which Skyhawk got his hand on and ripped it out of there, but big play there on special teams. Give the offense ball back well into General's territory, and chance here to go ahead and take the lead.
Timeout for Winfield. We'll keep you right here, though, as we just got back from a quick break. Just a reminder, if you're watching this game right now on your computer, you'd rather see it on your big screen TV or maybe take it with you on the go on your phone, all you have to do is download the free HD Media Plus app. You'll get access to all of our live streams, exclusive shows like Outside the Echo Chamber, and other features full of local content. And again, it's all totally free. The HD Media Plus app available on all Apple, iOS, or Android platforms, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire Stick. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Media Center crew, happy to have you along with us this evening on High School Game Day. We've got just one more week of the regular season left after tonight. Will and I will make our way back to Wayne County next week, where we'll watch the Wayne Pioneers try to finish off the regular season with a victory over the Sissonville Indians, who will potentially, depending on how tonight goes, be looking for win number 1 still on the year. Handoff goes to David Fennessy. Fennessy up the middle on the opening play. Will pick up 4, maybe 5. Give him down to the 23. It will be a 5-yard pickup. Bring up 2nd and 5.
Fancy so far, 6 carries for 11 yards. He did have one big negative play in there early on, but the offensive stats for Scott so far don't pop out because they've gotten the ball so deep into the General's territory on both these last 2 drives.
After that opening possession going 3 and out, they've gotten the football in great field position for the last 2. Delayed handoff goes to Fennessy. Fennessy with a nice glide downfield, gets inside the 20, and he'll be just shy of the first down. Bring up 3rd and 1 for the Skyhawks after Landon Hill makes the stop, the Sam linebacker for the Generals.
Fennessy already 7 carries and a catch so far in this game. No one else has touched the ball other than Easterling.
3rd and a short 2 for the Skyhawks here. H-back set. Caden Sutphin, the fullback. And ball is on the ground. Easterling ran the ball. Sorry, I thought it was a fumble the way that the pile was pulling up there. They're going to give Easterling the first down gain, though, as he gets down to the 17-yard line. Yeah, the way that all piled up there, I almost thought that he had lost the football.
Yeah, it's kind of not a tush push, but that's just that kind of classic quarterback draw to get those couple, not even draw, just quarterback dive to get those couple yards there. Did a good job of getting 2 yards in the first down.
Sutphin, the H-back to the right of the formation. Easterling drops back to throw. Rolling out to his right. Throwing downfield, has a man, and it's caught in the end zone. Does he maintain possession? Yes, he does. Carter McClung hauls it in. A 17-yard touchdown pass from Nate Easterling to Carter McClung, and the Skyhawks take the lead on the road here, 12-7, with their second score here in the quarter in as many possessions.
Yeah, great job there by Easterling to extend that play, rolling out, give the guy a really catchable ball that has a really nice arc to it. Great job there to take the lead now. Let's see if they can get the extra point this time.
Breedlove out for the point after try, now 23 of 31 on the season, looking for number 24 and through the uprights on this one. Hard snap count. Kick is up, and this time it is good. Make it 13-7. Skyhawks with the lead here on the road. Step aside for a short break, and we'll be back with more right after this on High School Game Day.
Serving the area one truck at a time for over 60 years, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is in your neighborhood each and every day, working to keep your family warm and comfortable. With cooler days ahead and winter right around the corner, now's the time to schedule your home HVAC system tune-up and preventive maintenance. If you need a new system and received a quote from another company, give Mullen a chance to take a second look. Right now, we're offering 0% financing on a new Ream home system and includes a 10-year worry-free warranty. Remember, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call or visit us online today to schedule your appointment at mullenplumbing.com.
Back here at Winfield High School, the Skyhawks have taken a 6-point lead on the road after their second touchdown drive of the quarter, after getting the football both times on fumbles by the Generals. Skyhawks convert both of those into scores. First of them on a David Fennessy 1-yard touchdown run, the second on a 17-yard touchdown pass to Carter McClung. His second touchdown reception of the season for the Skyhawks makes it this 13-7 lead for Scott after the Generals took over 7 minutes off the clock on the opening drive and scored. They've fumbled it the last 2 times they've had the football. This time on the return, it'll be Pierce Warline, the sophomore, and he'll get up near the 35-yard line. That is where the Generals will send the offense out, hoping for a better result than the last time the offense was out after the fumble.
Well, last time the offense didn't come out.
Well, the last time the offense came out, the fumble happened.
Yeah, they went from leaving the field up 7-0 and coming back on down 13-7. So, they got to really step up and try to get something going here after the offense has really stalled out and Strip just not been on the field for much of this second quarter.
Pinkerton in the shotgun, an option to the near side, and Radcliffe is bottled up quickly. David Fennessy makes the stop, but helping force him back inside to Fennessy there was Thomas Crisp with his penetration off the outside edge. So about a half-yard loss. I'll give it a full. Officially, they'll count it as a full yard loss. 2nd and 11 on the way for Winfield. Near side receiver will be Warline. An eye set for the Generals. Radcliffe takes the handoff out of the fullback spot and is going to get up to the 35 and go no farther. They'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe they'll give him the 36, depending on how beneficial the spot is. They will give him that 36-yard line, so a 2-yard pickup official. It'll bring up 3rd and 9.
And after giving up, steady yardage on the first real Winfield drive, two straight really great jobs handling that running game and forcing it now a second long. Third and 9. Yeah,
they delayed changing the downs markers, and now Winfield going to take a timeout with 8:05 to go in this second quarter. Generals trailing 13-7. Again, they took a 7-0 lead and have relinquished 2 straight touchdowns on short fields to Scott.
Yeah, so far in this game, ball security has been the big difference. Winfield fumbling it twice, once by Pinkerton, once by Tanner, two of the real drivers of their offense there in the first quarter. Really put their defense in a tough spot several times. Both times those fumbles happened on Winfield's side of the field, and they really put them in a tough spot. So now, like I said, this offense had left the field up 7-0, came back on down 13-7. So really going to try to get something going here with this long third down in front of them.
Just over 8 minutes remain in the half. Again, the Generals moved the football on that opening drive with ease. Didn't face a third down until the scoring play, and since then have been unable to move the football on these last two drives. Can they cook something up on third down after the timeout here? Two receivers split out to each side. Pinkerton in the shotgun has Hill standing to his left. Pinkerton going to roll left. Throwing downfield has Trainer. Ball is tipped and it's intercepted. That's going to be pulled down by Loudon White. White pulls it down at the 29-yard line. Pinkerton had beat White, but then the throw hung in the air too long and landed short of the targeted man Tanner, and White times the jump perfectly to snare the interception for the Skyhawk defense.
Yeah, Pinkerton had the right idea, but like you said, the ball just kind of died on him. He was throwing it on the run, didn't quite get all of his oomph behind it, so just another turnover. Like we said, turnovers really killing this Winfield Generals team, at least this time. They turned over on the opposite end of the field. But
third turnover in a row, though, for the Generals as the Skyhawk offense comes back out, trying to add to their scoring streak. Man in motion. Handoff goes to Fennessy, though, off the left. Fennessy bouncing it out wide is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage, it appears, depending on that spot ultimately, but it does look like he lost about a yard. There is an injured Scott player down back at the 20, and they're going to come out and check him. While they do that, let's step aside and take a quick break. With 7:42 to go in the first half, Skyhawks lead 13-7, but an injured Carter McClung on the field for the Skyhawks. We'll see to him. We'll step aside for a break and be back with more right after this. Carter McClung is making his way over to that far sideline, being helped by the training staff members over there at Scott.
Yeah, I wasn't really clear about that. Hopefully he's all right and might be able to make back in this game, but he was limping as they helped him off the field.
One thing I almost forgot to mention, we'll get to it here in a second, though, is Easterling drops back to throw, airs it deep downfield, and looking over on that far sideline for his man Braden Clark. That incompletion will bring up third and long. We had that really kind of scary injury last week in our game at South Charleston. We did find out later after we were leaving there that it was just a concussion. He was taken to the hospital for precautionary measures. So it was great to hear that and see them post about that last weekend after a very scary injury there to Matt Riley, the freshman quarterback for South Charleston High School.
Really critical third down here. Scott with a chance to really take control of this game if they can hold on to the ball and keep driving it. And Winfield a chance to get the ball back after giving up touchdowns in the last two turnovers.
Easterling drops back to throw, looking for his man one-on-one. Clark down the far sideline, incomplete. Trey Tanner with him step for step there on the throw, and that'll bring up 4th and 11 for the Skyhawks. Back out comes Ryan Neal to punt things away for Scott.
Great stand there by Winfield's defense. Go ahead and get the ball back after The offense gave it away for the third time already in this game, preventing the score that resulted from the other 2 turnovers.
Tanner stands at his 34-yard line, awaiting the kick from Neal. Standing back at the 15. Great kick there. Will bounce, then roll. Go all the way inside the 20. What a kick. Ryan Neal does have a long of 54 on the season. What a great punt there as he literally flips field position for the Skyhawks and sets the defense up for Scott inside the 20. Winfield will go 1st and 10 from their own 17 here. Split 2 receivers to the top of the formation. That's Martinez and Aiden Hernandez. Pinkerton under center after the interception on the last possession with a pitch on the option again in Boggs. Boggs cuts back inside the hash marks and is going to be brought down shy of the 25. But a nice play there for the Generals on 1st down to set themselves up with 2nd and manageable here. So 2nd and 5 after that pickup by Boggs.
Yeah, getting 4, 5, 6 yards on 1st down makes everything run easier when you're running this style of offense. They've done it consistently.
Radcliffe in at the fullback spot. Fennessy was showing some pressure coming off the outside edge there, the right of the formation, but now backs off. Will he come here on 2nd and 5? Now going to show back up there on the line of scrimmage. Wing back to the left of the formation. Fake the handoff. They're going to pitch it. Fennessy was there at the edge, but a great job of evading that tackle attempt. Gannon Boggs with a great job there, has the 1st down carry up to the 35-yard line. Boggs took a good hit there as he got that 1st down, but was able to avoid that initial contact from Fennessy at the line of scrimmage and move the sticks. 2 to the top of the formation now. That's Warline and Hernandez. First and 10 from the 36. Easterling throws a pass over out into the flat to Hernandez on a wide receiver screen, and he'll pick up 2 yards maybe there, Will?
Yeah, not a whole lot.
They're going to give him the 38.
I guess that was a screen. It really didn't seem like there was much of a blocking setup ahead of him. Not like we said, a team that really prefers to keep on the ground, but there's 2 yards there through the air, getting one of their guys that they do trust with the ball.
Just over 5 minutes to go in the half. Generals trail by 6. Handoff on a jet sweep to the near side. Goes to Gannon Boggs, and Boggs is going to be just shy of the 1st down, it appears. Maybe a yard shy up to the 46-yard line. Fennessy on the stop once again.
Boggs leading the way on the ground for this Winfield rushing attack. 6 carries now for 35 yards.
General's coaching staff saying it's a 1st down as they take a long look down the line of scrimmage. And now they are going to say, yes, indeed, it is a 1st down. They'll move the sticks, and it's 1st and 10 for the Generals from the 46-yard line in the middle of the field, just outside that midfield star logo. Man to the near side is Trey Tanner. Up top, they'll roll with Aiden Tate. Drew Mann, right side tied in there at the bottom of the line of scrimmage. And play blown dead. A delay of game is going to come here against the Generals. And I think Winfield's a little upset. They thought the play clock maybe should have been started a little later there after the discussion on the 1st down. But that 5-yard penalty will back it up to the 41 and make it 1st and 15.
That was a bit of a double-edged sword. They won the argument on the 1st down, but then got hit the other way a little bit.
Same formation. Tate lines up to the top, Tanner to the bottom of the formation with Mann attached to the right of the formation. Pinkerton keeps it himself and is met in the backfield. Slinging him down there is Mason Brown. 2-yard loss back to the 39.
You know, like we talked about a little bit, Pinkerton the leading rusher for this Winfield attack, but so far he's been their least effective ball carrier of their mainstays. Only 14 yards on 5 carries so far for him in this one.
2nd and 17 for the Skyhawk defense after that tackle for loss in the backfield. Pinkerton rolls to his right, throwing right. That is caught by Tanner, a couple yards shy of the 45. We'll spot him out at the 43. Sets up 3rd and long still, but much more manageable here after a 5-yard pickup. Just over 3 minutes remain in the first half. Generals down by 6 after taking the lead on the opening possession that spanned over 7 minutes off the clock. Take that 7-0 lead. They've allowed 13 unanswered points from Scott, and now another timeout comes for Winfield, with 3:02 to go in the first half. We'll step aside for another short break and then bring you back here for the final 3 minutes of this one between Scott and Winfield in the first half. Back with more right after this on High School Game Day.
It's that time of year again when things start to cool down. But here at Yes Chevy and Yes Ford, the dealers are heating up. I'm Keith Powell, and I want to help you lower your current monthly payment, have a down payment that's just $99, and get a lifetime warranty with fast and easy credit approval. That's right, don't freeze up over huge down payments. You can ride away for just $99 today. Get pre-approved at KeithSaysYes.com, only at Yes Chevy in Hurricane and Yes Ford in Huntington.
Third and long on the way for the Generals offense. Coming out of the timeout. 3 minutes, 2 seconds remain until halftime. Generals looking to get back on the scoreboard after that opening score drive. Have turned it over 3 times since. Third and long. Pinkerton drops back to throw. Now going to step up in the pocket and try to take off for the first down. Breaks out of a couple of tackles, and he'll get up to midfield, but still going to be well short of the first down. Needed to get down to the 44-yard line to move the sticks. But this at least makes the decision, if you're going to go for it on 4th down, a little easier here, because you only have to pick up 6 yards instead of 12 to 13.
It looks like that's the direction they're going to take it.
Ball at midfield, right at the 50-yard line. Just below the star logo at midfield with the W inside. That 2025 painted just below it. 4th and 6. Generals, no more timeouts left in the half after calling their last one just a moment ago. Radcliffe flips from left to right. Pinkerton rolling out to his right, has some time now, has to get rid of it. Caught and trying to turn upfield there is Gannon Boggs, and I think they're going to give him just enough for the first down. Ooh,
I don't think so.
No,
they're calling about a yard short.
No, they're going to mark him at the 45. I thought they might have given him his forward progress to the 44, but yeah, they mark him a yard shy at the 45-yard line.
I think they're saying he stepped back on his own before he got corralled and brought down, so gave up a little bit of that forward progress on his own before that contact. So turnover with 1:52 left, and Scott has the ability to score quickly with their passing game. So a bit of a gamble there that did not pay off for Winfield. Now let's see if Scott can make them pay for it before the half.
Fennessy takes the handoff rather from Easterling, and Fennessy is going to be brought down right around the first down marker. Be about a yard shy at the 46-yard line of Winfield.
Also number 87, Aiden Hernandez in the stop. Gain of about 9 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 1.
Skyhawks looking to build on their lead. Again, it took a couple of turnovers for them to get on the scoreboard, but with those short fields, they were able to punch it in twice. 2nd and short Easterling drops back to throw, has plenty of time. Now going to roll out to his left, throw downfield. It is going to be caught but well out of bounds by White.
I'm pretty sure you're just trying to get rid of it there, but White tried to make a play on it anyway. Valiant effort, far too far out of bounds.
Even tried to get the toe tap down, too, on the sideline there. Trying to position himself like an NFL wide receiver. And so that will back the...
Did not see that flag come out.
Yeah, it's been... Hasn't come out many times against the Skyhawks at all. Just one before this one. And that hold will make it 2nd and 11 back to the 44-yard line. 1:07 remains in the first half. Easterling under center now. Hands off to Fennessy, and Fennessy met in the backfield by a host of Generals. Chase Riggs, as well as Austin Lynch. Carson Samples in on that stop. Again, a whole gang of Generals in on the tackle. Be a loss of 1 back to the 43-yard line will set up 3rd and 12 for the Skyhawk offense. What do they draw up here on 3rd and long with 35 seconds and rolling in the half to go?
Despite being put in some difficult situations, this Generals defense have played pretty well. Fennessy and Easterling being held below 2.5 yards a carry. Easterling only completing 2 of his 5 passes so far. This Winfield defense is put in bad spots, but has overall been doing pretty well.
Easterling in the shotgun, trips to the top of the formation. 10 seconds on the play clock as he takes the snap, and a timeout comes off for the Skyhawks. They officially call it with 9 seconds. We'll keep you right here. Getting just 9 seconds to go in the half after the Skyhawk timeout. Probably would have liked to see that timeout a little sooner if you were going to call it there. Preserve a little bit more time. But I also understand at the same time, too, not wanting to call it too early to give Winfield a potential chance to score.
Preserving time didn't really seem to be part of the equation here.
Yeah.
I don't think they were really trying to work it down and milk the clock necessarily. Just probably just going to see a huck to the end zone here, and we'll see how that goes, and then head back to the teams will head into halftime.
We'll have your halftime band performances for tonight's game as well coming up here in just a little bit. The Skyhawk Marching Band and the Generals both here tonight. As it's 3rd and 12 once again after the timeout by Scott. This should be, or could be rather, the final play of the half, depending on what happens here. Trips out to the top of the formation, a pistol set for Easterling. Handoff goes up the middle to Fennessy. Fennessy breaks out of a couple tackles, still on his feet across the 40. And he is going to be brought down at the 39-yard line, and that is going to be the end of the half. A good play there to convert the first down. Actually, correction, they're going to say that they got the timeout in with 1 second left. They're calling the Generals back over to the sideline. They were heading off to the locker room thinking that the halftime was going to happen, but now we're going to reset the clock and put 1 second back on. Yeah, they do get a Scott timeout in with 1 second to go. Again, I thought it had the potential to be the final play of the half, but they're going to say that he got down with 1 second and they got the timeout in. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Skyhawks from the Generals' 39-yard line. A chance for the Skyhawks to heave toward the end zone for a scoring play before the end of the half.
Yeah, definitely within striking distance now. A well-designed play there to get the defense spread out and then find that lane, run out to the side where you have blockers in front of you from that trips formation. But last play here before the half, and hopefully going to be trying to get towards the end zone. Probably just a deep shot, or you could see an underneath pass, which would be the not necessarily expected thing.
What a great play call there by Jeremy Dolan and his coaching staff to get that draw play drawn up there. Everybody in the building thought they were going to throw the ball, and instead they handed off to Fennessy, the tailback. Now Easterling is going to throw. Well, he was going to try to throw. Now he's going to take off and run with it. Down inside the 25 to the 20, almost brought down and finally forced out of bounds around the 15, and now that will be the final play of the half. Skyhawks can't add any more to the scoreboard before the halftime comes, but they do take a 13-7 lead into the break after trailing 7-0 on the opening scoring drive by the Generals that took 7:21 off the clock. Scott answered on their first 2 drives of the second quarter, scoring from 1 yard out from David Fennessy, and then just a little under 2 minutes later get a 17-yard touchdown pass from Easterling to Carter McClung to take this 13-7 lead into the locker rooms. We'll step aside for a break. When we come back, the marching bands are setting up for their halftime performance. You'll get a chance to see that and hear it coming up after this on High School Game Day on the RSN Sports Network, powered by HD Media.
CJU is a great company to work for. We've been around for 78 years. We are an underground utility construction company all across the East Coast. We are rapidly growing, and we're seeing a huge growth in this market, a huge need for employees. We are always looking for those that are experienced, those that are trying to get their foot in the door. We have positions for everybody. We offer competitive pay. We offer competitive benefits. We take pride in having a family atmosphere at CJU's, and it's truly just a family company.
Tudor's Biscuit World breakfast wraps are stuffed with farm fresh goodness like scrambled eggs, real cheese, and golden hash browns. Choose from fully loaded, crispy bacon or country sausage. Now introducing Tudor's grilled chicken lunch wraps, zesty ranch, savory southwest, and bold barbecue. All stuffed with tender grilled chicken, lettuce, and Colby Jack cheese. From morning to noon, Tudor's wraps make a delicious meal. Tudor's new grilled chicken wraps are only $4.99 at participating locations for a limited time.
When your vehicle is damaged in an accident, it's not only the damage, it's the inconvenience that's the problem. David Smith Frame and Body Shop has over 35 years experience in the business of not only fixing your vehicle correctly, but to work with your insurance company in helping arrange a rental. It's all in the experience of the people at David Smith Frame and Body Shop that make it a good experience for you.
I hope you don't need us, but if you do.
Like Pawpaw says, isn't it nice to know David Smith Frame and Body Shop is there for you?
If you love spaghetti, wow, Gino's has a deal you will love. Dine in to enjoy our delicious home-style spaghetti, choice of buttered or garlic bread, and a 20-ounce soft drink for only $8.99. Topped with our famous meat sauce, Gino's home-style spaghetti is a West Virginia favorite. It's spaghetti, choice of bread, and a soft drink for only $8.99. But hurry in, this deal that you'll love is only available for a limited time. Also right now, get any 2-topping large Gino's pizza for just $12 at participating locations.
give once again your hand to the Skyhawks marching band.
West Virginia's only Acura dealer, Lester Raines Acura. Keeping it simple, saving you money. Lester Raines Honda. Consider Lester Raines Mazda for your next vehicle purchase.
Hi, I'm Grant Husson. I'm from Parkersburg, West Virginia. When I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Par-Mar store.
We have that gold and blue pride at Par-Mar stores. Download the Par-Mar stores app and sign up for our rewards cards for even more savings. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. From gas to groceries, you'll find what you need at Par-Mar stores.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
I'm Chad Barker, and I'm running for re-election as Boone County Sheriff. During my first term, we've seen a decrease in burglaries, B&Es, and violent crime. And we're part of the School Game Changer program, which is helping our youth to embrace healthy, drug-free lifestyles. Plus, since I was given control of the Boone County Dog Pound, with the help of our staff and volunteers, over 170 dogs have found new loving homes. Help me finish what we've started. Vote for me as Boone County Sheriff November 5th. Thank you.
Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hurricane is built a little differently than other dealerships on things like a smile and a handshake. That's because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals, and the huge inventory in both new and pre-owned doesn't hurt either. So when you're ready for your next vehicle, make that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Just off the Hurricane exit of I-64, Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
program championships. John Major, Kate Wallace.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. and Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. and Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
Hello, I'm Dave Gilmore, the new office lead here in CEC's Putnam County location. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to partner with HD Media to bring you local high school sports. From all of us at CEC, we thank you for supporting us and we hope you enjoy tonight's game.
Tony the Tailor is well known to have the best suits, jackets, and pants anywhere. But our strength is actually our sophisticated casual and sportswear. From Brax Pants and Emmanuel Berg sports shirts, Cole Haan and DiBianco shoes, Left Coast tees and Mac jeans, Johnny O sportswear and Len belts, we have what you need to look your best at work or at play. Tony the Tailor, downtown Charleston or online at bestmastertailor.com.
Serving the area one truck at a time for over 60 years, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is in your neighborhood each and every day working to keep your family warm and comfortable. With cooler days ahead and winter right around the corner, now's the time to schedule your home HVAC system tune-up and preventive maintenance. If you need a new system and received a quote from another company, give Mullen a chance to take a second look. Right now we're offering 0% financing on a new Ream home system and includes a 10-year worry-free warranty. Remember, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call or visit us online today to schedule your appointment at mullenplumbing.com.
Back here at Winfield High School, getting ready for the start of the second half. The Scott Skyhawks on the road this evening with a lead coming out of the halftime break, 13-7. Scored all 13 points of those in the second quarter. After trailing 7-0, they scored 2 touchdowns quickly in the second quarter. Get both of those within the first 2.5 minutes of the second 12 minutes of action. And we're able to keep the Generals off the board in the first half after that opening drive score for the touchdown. Thanks in part to 3 takeaways and a turnover on downs as well. The Generals are getting set to kick things off to start the second half. So Scott with an opportunity to add to their lead as we get ready to start the second half of play. After, I want to say, too, if you're just coming back or if you stuck through halftime, had 2 fantastic halftime show performances by the Scott Skyhawk Marching Band and the Generals Marching Band. One of the best halftime performances I think we've seen all season long. And we've seen a pretty good football game so far as well. Again, just a 6-point lead for the Skyhawks at the half. We're underway in half number 2. Kickoff on the ground, going to be fielded by Loudon White. White on the return, up across the 35, and is brought down finally at the 40 by an ankle tackle from Trey Tanner.
And the Skyhawks have had great field position many times in this game, whether it be coming off of those 3 turnovers they mentioned earlier that really were the story of that first half, or right there a good return up to the 40 sets the offense up in good field position. Scott definitely feel like they should be up by more than 6 in this game. Let's see if they can go ahead and drive it down there and create some separation here to start the second half.
Nate Easterling comes back out with the Skyhawk offense. Going to send White to the bottom of the formation. Flip Fennessy from left to right in the backfield. And now send White in motion back to the right. Pitch to White. White has the first down and then some. It's across the 45, down near the 40. And Loudon White with a big first down. There is an injured Winfield player. That is Landon Hill. Hopefully this not a serious injury, because General's dealing with a couple of injuries to some pretty key players for them that are going to be out for the rest of the season. Toby Lawfrey as well as Jared Miller out for the season after injuries last week in that loss to Nitro. So they are going to see to him. That'll stop the clock with just 15 seconds into the second half of play. And looks like it might just be a bit of a cramp there. Going to be able to get him up off the grass, and he's going to slowly make his way under his own power over to this near sideline. Great to see that from the senior Landon Hill, one of 9 seniors honored this evening. The final home game for Winfield of the year. Next week, they're going to take their caravan up to Point Pleasant. Number 11 in Class AA coming into tonight's matchup. And it's something that Winfield said they didn't want to look past this Scott matchup, obviously, because Skyhawks a very good team, but definitely trying to get into the playoffs are the Generals, and a win over next week's opponent, Point Pleasant, will help them regardless. But a win here against Scott would really help them, but the Skyhawks are going to pick up a first down off that run. Down to the 30 go the Skyhawks. 1st and 10 from the far side hash. Caden Sharps on the near side with Loudon White. Snap goes back to Easterling. Handoff to Fennessy, and Fennessy close to another first down for the Skyhawks.
Fennessy running much more effectively here in the second half than they did in the first. Already 31 yards.
And just 3 carries to start the second half, and
He'd be 41 yards on those 3 carries.
The Skyhawks just outside the red zone at the 21. 2nd and 1 on the way for Scott. Easterling drops back, wants to throw it this time, looking toward the end zone. And the man there, Braden Clark, incomplete. Aiden Tate on the coverage for the Generals defense. That'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Coverage for the Generals. Second down, and check that 3rd down. 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, not surprising there to see them try to go for the shot there where they had 2nd and 1, now 3rd and 1. Hope they can get it with the run game. Been pretty successful, like we said, here on this opening drive of the second half on the ground.
And here comes, as an expected, handoff to David Fennessy. And Fennessy trying to make his way toward the end zone. Going to come up a couple yards shy, about 5 yards shy. But does have a first down conversion for the Skyhawks. Looked like he had some space down that far side of the field and then got bottled up before he could get to the goal line.
14 carries for 71 yards so far for Fennessy. We came into this expecting to see a lot more passing, but Fennessy has been the primary focus of the attack so far in this game. Only 6 pass attempts.
1st and goal from the 4. Fennessy trying to spin his way into the end zone with the extra effort on the push from his teammates. He's going to break the goal line and get into the end zone. Add 6 more to the Skyhawks total with a Fennessy 4-yard touchdown run, his 2nd touchdown of the night. They're going to send Tucker Breedlove out for the point after try.
Number 24, Tucker Breedlove.
Trying to make it a 13-point lead for the Skyhawks here on the road. High snap pulled down. Kick is up, and it is good. It'll make it 20-7 with a little more than a minute and a half into the 3rd quarter. Skyhawks on top, adding to their lead. We're back with more right after this on High School Game Day.
Hi, I'm Grant Hudson. I'm from Parkersburg, West Virginia. When I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Parmar store.
We have that gold and blue pride at Parmar Stores. Download the Parmar Stores app and sign up for our rewards cards for even more savings. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. From gas to groceries, you'll find what you need at Parmar Stores.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
And one more week of high school football remains after this until the playoffs start. Will Vance and I will be in Wayne County next week as we'll watch the Wayne Pioneers take on the Sissonville Indians in the regular season finale. And you can catch all the action right here on High School Game Day on the RSN Sports Network, powered by HD Media. It's all totally free. Just download the HD Media app today. But here in week number 10, we're in Winfield, where the Generals find themselves down by 2 scores. 20-7, Scott with the lead, a 20-point unanswered run for the Skyhawks on the road this evening, looking for win number 6 in a row. Win number 7 on the season. Kickoff bobbled for a second on the ground and then finally picked up over there on the far sideline, but going pretty much nowhere after he picks it up is Aiden Tate. I'll give him to the 26-yard line, 27-yard line maybe, depending on where they finally rule his forward progress down, because he ran quite a bit there at the end of that play.
And well, it's admirable to stay up and fight and try to get away, but sometimes you gotta go down, because I was watch him swing that ball around loose. Might have a second fumble on a kickoff.
It'd be the 3rd fumble tonight if he did fumble that there. But 1st and 10 from the 27 for the Generals. Pinkerton under center. Fakes the handoff, going to pitch it out to Boggs, and Boggs goes nowhere. Loses yardage. Back inside to the 25. Scott defense has been after the Generals quickly. Again, outside of that opening drive, the Generals really haven't done anything offensively. It's been very short gains or negative gains.
And on that tackle for loss, Finnessy on the tackle, really just really powering this team on both sides of the ball. His defense coming off the end there has been really impressive throughout this game.
Yeah, he's made quite a few tackles for this Skyhawk defense this evening, who look very good in that gold lid with the white jerseys. And a handoff off the right side. Off the left side, Aiden Hernandez with the carry. Will get those 2 yards that they had previously lost back. And then a little bit more. Well, yeah, an extra yard after that. So 3-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 9 for the Generals. And haven't been able to move the football except for that initial drive. It resulted in the opening score of the game. Have been quiet ever since. Pinkerton in the shotgun. Drops back to throw this time. Throw is caught by Aiden Hernandez. Hernandez has the 1st down as he tries to get a little bit of extra yard after that. Caden Sutphin with the tackle, and now a flag comes in late here. It's going to appears that it'll be against the Skyhawks, Caden Sutphin. Wait for the official ruling on it. Personal foul on Scott. So they'll tack on extra yardage after the conclusion of the play, and that'll push the Generals into Skyhawk territory down to the 46. So again, they already got the 1st down, and then add to it the Generals into Skyhawk territory for the first time since that opening drive.
And they've really got to make use of this opportunity. Like you said, their offense looked great on the first drive, has not really produced anything since, plagued by turnovers. If they can hold on to the ball and keep driving this one down the field, it can make a huge difference.
Pinkerton going to keep it himself on a quarterback power here, and he is slung to the ground as he gets inside the 45. Coming up with the stop there is Caden Sharps. The junior safety fires in there to make that stop. Pinkerton does pick up about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Let's call it again, a 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6.
Ball spotted at the 42. On the near side hash. Aiden Tate out to the top of the formation, the lone receiver. Hernandez lines up in an H-back style spot to the right of the formation. Drew Mann attached as a tight end on the right, and he's going to get a false start flag here. just couldn't hang on for a second longer. He falls forward a little bit, and we'll back him up 5 yards, make it 2nd and 9 now for the General offense.
A 6th penalty on Winfield, but only 20 yards worth. A couple of those were down towards the end zone and were half the distance, where it really rounded off a lot of the distance on those.
Excuse me, that's a 5-yard penalty. Makes it 2nd and 11, or short 11. Calling it, I guess our official going to call it 10. I thought it was a 5-yard or a 6-yard pick, 4-yard pickup a minute ago, which would make it 2nd and 11. But apparently I can't do math, which I know I can't. But anyway, 2nd down. Pinkerton going to roll to his right, surveys the field, has all the time to throw it, throws back over the left side of the field, looking for Tanner. Incomplete. Coverage there provided like a blanket by Tyler Mitchell.
And Will Toller was the one on that defense, was finally able to break through the offensive line and really put the pressure that made Pinkerton get rid of it, maybe not as well as he'd like it to.
3rd and long for this General offense now. Clock stop with 7:18 to go after the incompletion. Generals looking to end this 20-point scoring streak by Scott, dating back to just into the 2nd quarter. Two to each side of the formation with Pinkerton in the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Going to roll, toss back to Tanner, come back on the near side on a reverse. Tanner has the blocking he needs to get the 1st down. Still on his feet inside the 30. Great play call there for the General offense. 3rd and 10, they pick up the yards they need and then some.
For about 20 yards. And that 20 yards is good enough for a Winfield General.
Get him all the way down to the 28-yard line. About a 19-yard pickup there on 3rd and 10.
You mentioned earlier, Tanner, not usually a primary ball carrier, only a handful of carries coming into this game, but so far 4 for 39 yards. That was the biggest one so far.
Of the guys in double-digit carries on the season, Tanner is by far the least likely person to get the ball. Pinkerton going to keep it himself on a fake jet sweep, and he'll pick up about 4 yards on that, maybe 5, depending on where they spot him. Yeah, they'll give him down to the 24-yard line. Call it a long 5 here to go for the Generals offense. Starting to move the football finally for the first time since that opening scoring drive. This is as close as they've been to the red zone since then. Toss comes to Gannon Boggs to the near side. Boggs inside the 20 and finally forced out of bounds by a pack of Skyhawk defenders. Be right around the 1st down marker. They are going to move the sticks. It is a 1st down gain. Pickup of about 6 there. So get down to the 17. Pinkerton goes under center here. Handoff goes to Boggs off the right side, an I formation handoff, and Boggs breaks out of a couple of tackles, finally brought down at the 5. Caden Sharpson on the stop. 1st and goal for the Generals after that nice run by Boggs.
9 carries for 52 yards by Boggs so far in this one. Leading ball carrier among a lot of ball carriers for Winfield.
5 different guys have toted the rock for the Generals tonight. Three of those with more than 5 carries. Pinkerton sends Hernandez in motion, hands off to him on a jet sweep. Hernandez, can he get the corner? No, he can't. He'll pick up maybe a yard there, if anything, down to the 4. Looked like he might have enough speed to get to the edge and get to the goal line, but the Scott defense able to stretch it out and hold him to a yard. 2nd and goal on the way. Fake the handoff. Pinkerton going to roll out to the right, going to try to take it all the way. Can he get there? Yes, he does. And a flag comes in late, but the Generals going to score from 4 yards out. Easton Pinkerton with his 12th rushing touchdown of the season cuts the deficit to 7 now with 4:36 to go in the third quarter.
Good job there by him to do he does best, find the edge, take it in himself, give his team get a lot closer here as the third quarter starts to wind down. And the little frustration there by the defender is going to cost his team probably on the kickoff.
Yeah, the personal foul on Scott will be enforced on the kickoff. It'll be Braden Whistler to kick, the left-footed kicker. PAT try is up, and it is good. Make it a 6-point game now, 20-14. Winfield trails with 4:36 to go in the third quarter. We'll step aside for a short break and be back with more right after this on High School Game Day. Four minutes, 36 seconds to go in the third quarter. It takes nearly 2 full quarters, Will, for the Generals to get back on the scoreboard. But they finally, in that scoring run from Scott, cut the deficit to 6. And with the 15-yard penalty, they kick off from the Skyhawks side of the field and will blast it into the end zone for a touchback. So Scott will get the football, 1st and 10 from their own 20, trying to add back to their lead.
And in their last drive, when they scored just after coming out of halftime, they really seemed to have found a spark rushing the ball. Fantasy had been not especially effective in the first half, but really turned around in the second. 4 runs of well over 10 yards and then a 5-yard touchdown run to cap it off as they marched right down the field. Let's see if they can do that again and really open up that running game. Fantasy now 15 carries, 76 yards, also has an 18-yard catch to help set up their first scoring drive.
Fantasy takes a handoff off the right side, has a blocker in front of him, going to pick up the first down, and then some, as he'll get up near the 40-yard line. Nearly a 20-yard run there for David Fennessy, depending on where they say he stepped out of bounds. They can march it back more to like a 16-yard run, 17-yard run. And they are going to spot it at the 37, so a 17-yard pickup there on the opening run for David Fennessy.
This rate going to easily have a 100-yard game the way they're feeding Fennessy so far. 93 yards right now.
Pistol set with trips to the near side for the Skyhawks. Easterling drops back to throw. And is forced out of the pocket to the right. Throws back to the middle of the field. Caught by Braden Clark. And Clark is going to be brought down around the 45-yard line. Great job there, too, by Braden Clark to hang on to that football. Got met by about 3 Winfield defenders there right after he caught the ball. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of that first down. An 8-yard pickup there.
That was the Easterling's first completion since the touchdown pass to McClung, I believe, early in the second quarter. Not really going to the air much in this game against Winfield, which we kind of expected to see, but a lot more ground and pound than we were coming in expecting.
Handoff goes to Fennessy. Fennessy powers ahead, bursts into general territory, has the first down and then some, down to the Winfield 45-yard line.
101 yards now for Fennessy on 17 carries and another 18 yards through the air.
Man, what a run for David Fennessy. There was a game earlier this year against Polka where he scored 5 straight possessions, 4 rushing touchdowns and then a receiving touchdown in that game. Hasn't been quite as explosive tonight, but he's been just as explosive enough for the Skyhawk defense. As Caden Sutphin has a nice carry there, as he'll be brought down a couple yards shy of the first down to the Winfield 38-yard line. A 7-yard pickup there for Sutphin. Excuse me, 4 to go, 2nd and 4, a 6-yard pickup there. Man in motion, fake the hand on to White on that. Handoff goes to Fennessy. Fennessy will get the first down and then some, as he'll get down inside the 30. Fennessy running with a purpose here in this second half. And they have been feeding him a lot more here in this second half, haven't they, Will?
Yeah, another 12 yards. That's 113 on the game, and 5 of his 7 carries here in the second half have gone for 10 yards or more.
Timeout taken by Winfield. And as they take that timeout, Austin Lynch, their captain, defensive end, as well. And one of the big-time leaders on this Winfield team coming over a little hobbled over to the sideline. Hopefully he's all right. And the West Virginia Mountaineers might be off this week, but they're heading to Cincinnati to take on the Bearcats next week. Guys on the Touchdown City show, we'll be breaking down everything that happened in Tucson with that Mountaineer win last week over Arizona. Listen in as Avon Coburn, Anthony Lewis, Derek Bailey, and Matt Durrett recap the game against the Wildcats and take a look ahead at the match with the Bearcats and the rest of the season matchups. Check your local radio listings or go to the Gazette Mail homepage and look for the link to Touchdown City Show back for another year to talk about Mountaineer football. Getting back underway in this one after the Generals timeout. 1st and 10 for Scott. Sutphin goes in motion from right to left. Turn handoff goes to Fennessy. Fennessy cuts back to the right. Bouncing out toward the sideline, and he's going to be forced out of bounds just shy of the first down.
What a stiff arm there towards there in the middle of that play.
2nd down on the way. 2nd and short from the 19. Check that, from the 18. 8-yard pickup there as the chill starts to set in here in Putnam County, and a little bit colder as we've gone on throughout the night. Easterling drops back to throw, looking for the end zone. Pass incomplete, looking for Braden Clark, but we've got a flag coming in, and this one might be going against the Generals for a pass interference.
A likely pass interference there, just the way everyone's reacting over there, and tough break. This defense has been doing okay against the pass so far in this game.
Yeah, Easterling really hasn't had very many opportunities to throw it cleanly downfield.
3 of 7 for 43 yards and that 1 touchdown pass.
Well, now what, 3 of 8, right, after that incompletion? Yeah. Well, it's not going to matter, though, with the incompletion because that pass interference negates it. So you're right, yeah, 3 of 7, my bad, Will. And that'll put him down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. That half the distance. But first and goal, rather. So he finally changed the down marker. Easterling takes a high snap, pulls it down, hands off to Fennessy. He steps out of a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, spins out of another tackle, fighting for the end zone, and he gets in. Fennessy with his 3rd touchdown of the night. This one comes with 1:13 to go in the 3rd. And from 9 yards out. All of his touchdown scores have been from within single-digit yardage. Started off with a 1-yard run in the second quarter, 4-yarder earlier in this third quarter to start the half. And then here toward the end of the 3rd, gets it in from 9 yards out. Breedlove out for the point after try. Missed his first, has made his last 2. Kick is up, and it is good. Make him his last three. 27-7. Winfield trailing to the Scott Skyhawks. We'll step aside for a short break. We'll return with more right after this on High School Game Day.
It's that time of year again when things start to cool down. But here at Yes Chevy and Yes Ford, the dealer is not. I'm Keith Powell, and I want to help you lower your current monthly payment, have a down payment that's just $99, and get a lifetime warranty with fast and easy credit approval. That's right, don't freeze up over huge down payments. You can ride away for just $99 today. Get pre-approved at KeithSaysYes.com, only at Yes Chevy in Hurricane and Yes Ford in Huntington.
My apologies, it's 27-14 our score here in Winfield as the Generals trail the Skyhawks after Scott punches it in from 9 yards out, answering Winfield's previous touchdown drive. Now the Generals going to try to answer this one from the Skyhawks, but time starting to become a factor in this one. Well, just a little more than 13 minutes remain in the ball game. And the Generals trail by 2 scores, and up until this most recent scoring drive, haven't looked very good offensively after that opening drive that they scored on.
Well, even when they do look good, they're not necessarily a quick strike offense. Not that they still have 13 minutes of this game, so plenty of time, but looks like the ball
Well, now the ball's on the ground, so that makes things even worse.
Scott has it.
And they're going to turn it over and give it up to the Skyhawks after the second fumble recovery on a kickoff tonight.
Yeah, 4 turnovers now and a fourth down turnover on downs for Winfield, and that's just really tough to overcome, especially against a team like Scott rolled in here 6-2 with a lot of steam behind them.
Well, especially when you have the opportunity to get the football back to cut the deficit in half, and now you give the football up to Scott in your own territory at the 42-yard line, yeah. So Easterling back out on the field to lead the offense for the Skyhawks. Handoff goes to Finnessy off the right side. Finnessy breaks through a couple of tackles, has a first down, and then some. What an aggressive run from David Finnessy there. Gets down inside the 30. We're going to spot him right at the 30. What a great run there by David Finnessy. Aiden Tate finally helps bring him down for the General defense, but not before a big run there for the Skyhawks. Definitely not how you want to be if you're Winfield there. After giving up the football on the kickoff return, you give up a big run on the opening play of the drive.
That's Finnessy's 21st carry, that one was.
Make it handoff to Caden Sutphin this time. Finnessy gets a little bit of a break, and Sutphin showing what he can do with his legs. He's got nobody in front of him inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown, Skyhawks. 30-yard touchdown run for Caden Sutphin. Puts the Generals on top 33-14 with 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. That's Sutphin's 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
In for the point after.
And an official's timeout, so a General player, can tie his cleats up. Sutphin with a great run there. That's the longest run of the night, I think, for the Skyhawks.
Oh, yeah, by far. They've had a lot of runs in the teens, but I think that Finnessey's longest run was 19 yards.
19, I would say easily the longest run. Sutphin punches it in. Breedlove punches the extra point through, make it 34-14. Scott with the lead. We'll step aside for a break and be back with more right after this on High School Game Day.
CJ is a great company to work for. We've been around for 78 years. We are an underground utility construction company all across the East Coast. We are rapidly growing, and we're seeing a huge growth in this market, a huge need for employees. We are always looking for those that are experienced, those that are trying to get their foot in the door. We have positions for everybody. We offer competitive pay. We offer competitive benefits. We take pride in having a family atmosphere at CJ Hughes, and it's truly just a family company.
getting ready for another kickoff in just a matter of 28 seconds. The Skyhawks score with 1:13 to go to make it a 13-point lead. David Finnessy got his third rushing touchdown of the night. Then a fumble on the ensuing kickoff by the Generals. Then 2 plays later, Caden Sutphin runs it in from 30 yards out to make it a 20-point lead for Scott. Here on another kickoff, we'll see if the Generals can handle things better this time. And here comes a face mask penalty as they're going to grab the face mask there of Aiden Martinez on that kickoff return. So they're going to have good field position based on how the kickoff went before the face mask, and then they're going to tack 15 more onto it from the end of that.
Yeah, after the yardage, they might be just across the 50. Oh, no, they'll still be on their side of the 50, but still excellent field position to start this off, and they'll need it because they got 21 points to make up here in basically just the fourth quarter and the remainder 40 seconds of the third.
And here comes that 15. Oh, yeah, it will go into Skyhawk territory. Will, you were right.
Well into Skyhawk territory.
Yeah. From the 40 to the 45 of the Skyhawks. Again, now what can Winfield do with this field position? Trailing by 3 scores. Pinkerton hands off to Aiden Hernandez, and Hernandez is going to get maybe a yard down to the 44. If he's getting a kind spot from the officials, they're going to give him a yard there. Yeah, down to the 44, and there is a Skyhawk player that goes down to the ground over there on the far hash mark. They are going to see to him. 25 seconds left to go in the third quarter. We'll step aside for a break with the injury timeout. Skyhawks lead by 20. We're back with more right after this on High School Game Day.
When your vehicle is damaged in an accident, it's not only the damage, it's the inconvenience that's the problem. David Smith Frame and Body Shop has over 35 years experience in the business of not only fixing your vehicle correctly, but to work with your insurance company in helping arrange a rental. It's all in the experience of the people at David Smith Frame and Body Shop that make it a good experience for you.
I hope you don't need us, but if you do.
Like Papa says, isn't it nice to know David Smith Frame and Body Shop is there for you?
Tudor's Biscuit World breakfast wraps are stuffed with fine fresh goodness like scrambled eggs, real cheese, and golden hash browns. Choose from fully loaded, crispy bacon, or country sausage. Now, introducing Tudor's grilled chicken lunch wraps, zesty ranch, savory southwest, and bold barbecue. All stuffed with tender grilled chicken, lettuce, and Colby Jack cheese. From morning to noon, Tudor's wraps make a delicious meal. Tudor's new grilled chicken wraps are only $4.99 at participating locations for a limited time.
2nd and 9 on the way for the Generals after the injury timeout for a Skyhawk player. Pinkerton with a play action fake looking down the field. That pass is incomplete. It's intercepted by Caden Sharps, but out of bounds as he comes down with it. And now he's grabbing at his hamstring. Was going to try to, I think, walk over to the far side of the field, but his teammate said, dude, just go down.
Oh, now he's back up. And
yeah, now he's back up. But he still has to leave the field because they did call the injury timeout for him. So he does have to leave. After the incompletion, it's 3rd and 9 for Winfield. Got a gift after getting a face mask on the kickoff return. Getting it into Skyhawk territory, but have done nothing with it so far on 2 plays. What do they draw up here on 3rd and 9 now? 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Pinkerton drops back to throw, throws to the right, finds his man Hernandez, and Hernandez is going to go just about 2 yards, if that. Well, actually, he's going to go just a yard. Gets down to the 43, and it'll bring up 4th and 8 for Winfield coming up, but that decision will come in the 4th quarter. They'll take a short trip to the other side of the field and put 12 fresh minutes up on the board when we return. 4th quarter action for you right after this on High School Game Day.
If you love spaghetti, wow, Gino's has a deal you will love. Dine in to enjoy our delicious home-style spaghetti, choice of buttered or garlic bread, and a 20-ounce soft drink for only $8.99. Topped with our famous meat sauce, Gino's home-style spaghetti is a West Virginia favorite. It's spaghetti, choice of bread, and a soft drink for only $8.99. But hurry in, this deal that you'll love is only available for a limited time. Also right now, get any 2-topping large Gino's pizza for just $12 at participating locations.
Fourth down decision coming for the Generals. They're keeping the offense out on the field to start the fourth quarter. Down by 3 touchdowns and 2 extra points. A 20-point deficit for Winfield in their senior night matchup. Skyhawks playing spoiler right now, but the Generals still have a fourth quarter to mount a comeback. But it's going to be a lot harder after that pick by David Fittisy at the 28.
Finney just doing literally everything for this team.
Pinkerton was looking for Chris Radcliffe at the hash marks, and Finney times the jump perfectly and intercepts it for the Skyhawk defense. Their second interception of the night, and their 5th turnover taken away.
And I think that's actually is that the 6th turnover now?
6 technically, yes. They did have the turnover on downs, but this is the 5th takeaway. 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions and a turnover on downs. Easterling under center, going to hand off to Finney off the right side. Finney is going to have a short gain just shy of the 35 to the 34, and a host of Generals defenders bring him down. Austin Lynch, Gannon Boggs, as well as Carson Samples.
147 yards on the ground now for Finney on 22 carries and another 18 through the air.
And at this point, I don't see Jeremy Dolan and the Skyhawk coaching staff going away from feeding him. He has been a beast in the backfield tonight for Scott.
Of course, Sutphin had the longest run of the night to end their last drive on offense. So, maybe take a little bit of the pressure off Finney, maybe work in Sutphin. White has also gotten in on the action in the backfield right now. Sutphin and Finney are back there behind Easterling.
And an H-back set. Sutphin the fullback there. Handoff will go to Sutphin up the middle. And a decent gain there for him as the pile continues to push its way up to near the first down marker. Great job there by the Skyhawks to keep moving that pile forward, and that is going to be a first down for Scott. They'll move the chains and reset the down marker here in just a moment. What a way, too, for Scott to respond, Will, after that long opening drive of the game to start off that first quarter. 7 minutes, 21 seconds off the clock, 15 plays on that drive. All but one of those plays comes on the ground for the Generals, where they're just working that offensive line, just working their defensive line down, and then finally get into the end zone there. And since then, the Skyhawks have responded resoundingly, putting together long, lengthy drives of their own. Might not be in terms of time, but they're getting off a lot of plays and a lot of chunk plays throughout the course since that opening scoring drive by Winfield.
That was one of Finney's least successful runs of this half by far. I think they're going to give them a -1 yards, if not that, nothing. But
they're going to give him no gain at the 40. Ball just across the other side of the 40-yard line, not quite to the 41 just yet. So 2nd and 10 on the way for Scott. Skyhawks used a dominant third quarter a few weeks ago, all the way back in week number 5 when they knocked off Chapmanville 41-7. That was a game where it was just 14-7 at the half. And then again, they blew it open in the third quarter and have blown it open in the third quarter of this one. It was just 13-7 at the half of this one, Will. And then 3 third-quarter touchdowns have made it 34-14. As we're now inside of 9 minutes to go in the fourth.
And Adam, as impressive as this offense have been, you have Fennessy now on 158 yards rushing, getting close to 200 yards of total offense. The defense, really the special teams, have really led the way. Forcing two fumbles on kickoffs is you don't see that very often. And so it was a good job of them to give the ball right back to their offense to make special plays on special teams. Of course, the defense containing a running game that has really run wild on a few teams so far this season.
Skyhawks going to take their time to break the huddle. Line up for this pending 1st and 10 in Winfield territory at the 48. Going to break the huddle with less than 15 on the play clock. Just over 8 minutes to go in the fourth. Again, trying to work that time off while moving the football down the field. Sutphin goes in motion, now stops behind the right guard. Handoff goes to Fennessy, and Fennessy stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard, actually. It'll all depend on the spot by the officials. And
that's Fennessy's 25th carry, so if he's starting to slow down a little bit, it's kind of understandable.
He is going to lose a yard back to the 49. So 2nd and 11 on the way for Scott. Winfield defense desperately trying to get a stop here because, again, that time is going to play a factor in their comeback efforts. Just over 7 minutes to go now in this fourth quarter, and a 20-point Scott lead on the road, on their way to win number 7 of the year. It'll be 6 in a row if they can hold on to this advantage. Toss out to the near side goes to White. White trying to round the corner. This one's going to be coming back. Flag in the vicinity of a hold, and he is going to get down to the 44. As of right now, it would be a 5-yard pickup, but again, this one looks like it should be coming back.
And definitely in the timing in the area of a hold. Find out here soon.
Clock stop with 6:42 to go. And here is that hold signal on the Skyhawks, so that will back them up.
Scott not necessarily with a lot of fouls, but so far 5 penalties, 5 for 55 yards. A lot of the 10 and 15-yard varieties have really kind of hurt them.
They're going to spot it back at the Scott 44. Second and a trip back to I-64 nearly for Scott. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Media Center crew, happy to have you with us here into this 9 o'clock hour. High School Game Day on the RSN Sports Network, powered by HD Media. Don't forget, we'll have full coverage of this game as well as other games from around the area, as it'll be handoff to Loudon White, and White will get back to the original line of scrimmage and then some. A little extra after that, down to the 47. Will be a timeout for Winfield. They're going to try to stop that clock and preserve a little bit of time with 6:11 to go in this fourth quarter. And you can recap all of this action tonight, as well as many others throughout the state, by picking up a copy of the weekend edition of the Charleston Gazette-Mail tomorrow, or subscribe today to our digital edition at a special rate of just $1 for 6 months. That's just $1 for 6 months by going to the Gazette Mail homepage, wvgazettemail.com.
And Adam, looking at this game, if this result holds and Winfield falls down to would be 4-6
4 and 5.
or 4 and 5 with one game left to go against a very talented Point Pleasant, Winfield might be staring down the barrel of staying home in playoff time.
Yeah, at this point, number 18 in the Class AAA playoff ratings, 2 spots out of the playoffs currently.
Now, if they can somehow turn this one around and win against a top half team, that would pretty firmly put them in the top 16, at least in the next week's rankings. Who knows what would happen after Point Pleasant? But if they lose this one, their chances of getting the playoffs
a lot
are
slimmer.
Yeah, very, very slim. Meanwhile, Scott pretty much already
Scott in the playoffs pretty much at this point. Do have a tough task next week against number 4 Williamstown, coming there to West Madison. But a tough place to play there in Boone County. Will and I have been there a couple of times. Haven't had the pleasure of going there this year. Both times we've seen Scott have been on the road, as Fennessy will have a gain down to the 39-yard line. Going to bring it just a yard shy of the first down to gain. So it'll set up 4th and 1, and the Skyhawk offense going to stay out there to go for it, it appears.
Fennessy now 26 carries for 165 yards on the ground. Just a real bell cow back who's really stepped up tonight and pushed this team to victory. Likely victory. There's still time, but I mean.
But this one definitely fleeting in the hopes for the Generals faithful. 4th and 1 on the way for Scott. 2-1 and a timeout comes to stop the clock with 5:08 to go and avoid the delay of game penalty. In a 20-point lead for the Skyhawks. Trying to just take as much time off the clock as they possibly can before potentially giving it back to the Generals.
And as well as Scott has run the ball, the story of this game is just the turnovers. I mean, Scott's offense, while Fennessy's done a really fantastic job, they haven't done anything incredible. They've gotten so many short fields off the turnovers.
Most of those scores have been because of the short fields off the turnovers.
Yeah, so, I mean, there were time and again set in positions where they were, either on, somewhere in between the 40s. And, it's hard for a defense to be put in that position over and over and over again, and Winfield did their best. I mean, only 34 points. It's not like they're being, blown out or anything, but just a really tough place for their defense to be in, and the special teams and offense contributing to the turnover woes.
Yeah, it's hard when you consider that you've turned it over 6 times, including that 1 turnover on downs, 5 traditional takeaways for the Scott defense or kickoff unit. But when 5 out of those 6 out of those 6 turnovers have been converted in for points, it's hard to overcome those. And as of right now, they're marking him just short, it looks like.
Doesn't look like he got anywhere.
I think they're going to have to potentially bring the chains over to measure that. Well, I know. They're going to say, they're confident in their spot and that he's well short. So it will be Generals football. Winfield will get the ball back with just under 5 minutes to go, but again, need 3 really quick scores here. And going to have to play some defense to get a couple of takeaways potentially as well.
So far, Pinkerton 6 of 10 with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Only a net of 30 yards. A lot of short passing has really been all they've looked to do in the passing game, but now they're going to have to do a little bit more.
1st and 10 from the 39. Pinkerton pumps once, rolls to his left, throws back across the middle of the field, and that is caught. Aiden Tate with the reception. They are going to spot him down to the Scott 36.
22 big yards, almost doubling their passing yards so far.
So quickly into Skyhawk territory on the opening play of the drive. Down by 20. Pinkerton drops the throw, pumps once, throws again, finds Hernandez. Hernandez catches it at about the 35. About 4-yard pickup there. 6-yard pickup. Down to the 35. 2nd and a long 6 to go. They're going to call it 7. Pinkerton drops back to throw again. Airing out deep. Pass is incomplete. White going to get called, though, for a pass interference, pushing off on Aiden Hernandez, the intended target downfield. If if he didn't push off there, Hernandez has a chance to go up and get that cleanly. Could have gone down on 2 feet and walked into the end zone from there.
It looked to me like their feet got tangled first before his hands actually came down on him. Either way, he's pass interference. Big gift there for Winfield, who's we're moving the ball, but you'll take those yards anytime you can, move them much closer down there inside the red zone now as they try to get this comeback bid going. 15 seconds and not much time, or 15 yards, not much time is always what you're looking for in this situation.
4:05 left to go in the fourth quarter. Pass interference will make it 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Generals. From the 21. Pinkerton going to roll to his right, now comes back to his left, steps up in the pocket, throws down the middle of the field, and that pass is incomplete. Well, was it incomplete or was it intercepted?
No, it was incomplete.
Okay, I was going to say I couldn't.
He dove and tried to intercept it, but couldn't quite pull it in.
Made a heck of an effort.
So another kind of dangerous pass there, but they get it back. No harm done yet, just a down loss.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion, and it preserves a little bit of time for you as well. Just under 4 minutes to go now, 3:52. Pinkerton going to drop back to throw. Quick strike over to Hernandez. Hernandez catches it at the 10, turns downfield. Going to be brought down about the 9. Clock moving. Now stopped as they will reset the chains to go 1st and goal. Clock will now start rolling again.
5 catches now for Hernandez, 30 yards between them.
Generals got to move quickly, taking a long time to look back over to the near sideline for the play call. 3.5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Pinkerton in the shotgun. Going to keep it himself on a quarterback power, down to the 4. Give him 5 yards. Again, Generals not moving with any kind of gusto here.
No, I think partially that's just the way their team's constructed. You know, they're a methodical team, and sometimes it's hard for a team that plays like that for 3 quarters to kind of bust into a new tempo in the fourth quarter. But yeah, you're right, just not a whole lot of not act like a team that needs 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes.
Throw out over to the far side, looking for Trey Tanner out there at the goal line. Pass is incomplete. Stops the clock with 2:54 to go in the fourth. Well, the Scott fan's going to be happy with this one at this rate after making the drive up from West Madison. Going to see their team pick up their 6th consecutive win of the season, 7th win of the year. As they'll head back to West Madison for a senior night matchup with one of the top teams in Class AA, Williamstown. A flag coming, false start on the Generals. Up next for Winfield, we mentioned it, they'll take on Point Pleasant. They'll see the Big Blacks on the road next week. To close out the regular season. And we'll still hope to have a chance to make the playoffs next week, depending on how the ratings shuffle out after tonight's game.
Scott next up with Williamstown. I'm sure they are glad that they are hosting Williamstown and not going to Williamstown.
Pass is knocked away there by Loudon White. Clock stop with 2:47 to go after Tanner was the intended target on that pass from Easton Pinkerton. A 20-point deficit for the Generals as their senior night is set to be spoiled by the Skyhawks as they have invaded the Generals' home field.
We've said it a couple times, but after that first drive by Winfield, I was picturing this game going very much differently. But after that first drive, they just couldn't put it together. And then the turnover bug, I don't know about that one.
Pass intended on the near side for Drew Mann, who had the opening score of the game. Has split time between being an offensive lineman and being a tight end for the Generals this season. Has switched over to number 80 and has worn it all night tonight. Pass interference called against the Skyhawks. They'll go half the distance to the goal. Still 4th down for the Generals, but now 4th and goal from the 4. And now a Winfield timeout going to come talk things over with 2:42 to go.
That is their final timeout as well, so even if they are able to score here, this comeback bid won't have it anymore.
Have to get an onside kick recovery, quick score, another onside kick recovery, quick score. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's going to take quite a bit of work for the Generals to come back and win this one. And if the Generals do end up losing this one, it'll be their first consecutive loss of the season. They've traded wins and losses all year, starting with a season-opening win on the road at Lincoln County. And then again, have just traded off losses and wins since then.
And also, if this score holds, we talked about it a little bit just a minute ago, but playoff chances are essentially dead for the Generals.
Would have to have quite a bit of help.
A lot of help and an extraordinarily convincing win over Point Pleasant next week.
And the Skyhawks fighting to host a playoff game in the first round at the very least, with a win tonight and then potentially a win next week over Williamstown. Not an easy trip necessarily to make as well from Williamstown down there. To
that's what I said. They should be glad they're hosting.
Yes, not an easy trip to make. As pass is incomplete. And Hernandez unable to haul in the catch. And the Skyhawks will get the football back with 2:38 to go. No timeouts left, as Will mentioned a moment ago, for the Generals. So all they can hope for is to basically force a turnover and then get a score.
Now they have there has been at least one from, I forget who it was. I don't think it was Fennessy who fumbled. It was actually I can't find where I wrote it down, but it's not like they've had a perfectly good offensive performance. They have had some bad plays and some at least one turnover, but not likely to happen right now.
Handoff goes to Sutphin. And Sutphin is going to get up to the 6. Maybe 2 yards on that run. Trying to get that clock running. Give him 3 officially. It looks like they're going to give him up to the 7.
Clock now inside 2 minutes. It'll be about 1:30 before they have to snap it again.
Yeah, they're going to take all their time running in that play, getting it into the huddle, and then lining up before snapping it. A reminder for you, Will and I will be in Wayne for the second time this year next week. We'll watch the Pioneers try to circle those wagons up and knock off the Sissonville Indians. And that'll be it for the regular season, and then it's playoff action in the Mountain State with 4 classifications for the first time ever. That means 16 more teams make the playoffs this year. That gives us a couple of extra games to pick from each week as we get into the playoffs. So be sure to keep checking our Facebook page, check the Gazette Mail and HD Media websites to find out where we'll be at come playoff time. 5-yard pickup on that run. We'll set up 3rd and short for the Skyhawks. Inside of a minute to go in the contest. And depending on how this play shakes out, this might be the final play of the game, depending on when they decide to start rolling that 40-second play clock, how long this play takes to come to fruition.
Well, they're just going to kneel it.
Yeah, they are going to take a deep kneel. 35 seconds to go on the play clock. That should be it. Yeah, that will be the final play of the game. After Winfield marched down the field on the opening possession of the game, took 7 minutes off the clock to get the opening score of the game, Skyhawks said, I don't think it's going to be like that all game long. We're going to rally ourselves together. They rattle off 20 unanswered points, then get 2 more touchdowns late in the 3rd quarter for a 21-point third quarter outburst to take a 34-14 lead, then hold the Generals off the board for the fourth quarter for this 20-point win on the road to spoil the senior night for the Generals. Will?
Yeah, just a game where Winfield just could not get out of their own way. We've talked about it many times, but the turnovers, especially the 2 lost fumbles on kickoff returns, were just really difficult for them to overcome. Combine that with Fennessy running for 165 yards on 27 carries, was just a recipe that they just could not get past. Winfield now virtually out of the playoff picture. It's not impossible, but very difficult for them with another tough team coming up next week.
Yeah, they'll take on Point Pleasant next week on the road. And as Will's mentioned, those playoff hopes get a little dimmer for the Generals. Not quite so certain they're out just yet, but certainly made a lot harder with their matchup next week with Point Pleasant. For Scott, again, as we mentioned a couple times, they'll be back at home next week in the confines of their own friendly venue, taking on Williamstown, the number 4 team in Class AA. The Skyhawks win 34-14 tonight, improved to 7-2. Generals lose their first back-to-back games of the season with the loss tonight, dropped to 4-5 on the year. For our Media Center crew and Will Vance, I'm Adam Rogerson. Thanks for joining us this evening. We hope that you join us in Wayne County next week as we'll watch the Wayne Pioneers take on the Sissonville Indians in the regular season finale. That'll be on High School Game Day on the RSN Sports Network, powered by HD Media. Have a great rest of your Friday night, folks, and weekend. We'll see you next week in Wayne.